Hare Om. In last lecture, we are listening the story of Mahabharata. Whether it's a history and continued for generations after generations. But we have started for a particular generation and just revise some points. The king Shantanu, his son Bhishma, and again his wife Satyavati. From this incidents we have started the story. Then we came, this is the first generation. Generation of the Bhishma is the second generation. Bhishma and his brothers, Chitrangad and Chitravirya. And further, the birth of Dhritarashtra. He was completely blind by birth. And Pandu. Dhritarashtra was elder one. So actually the kingdom was belonged to Shantanu. After Shantanu, the right will come to the Bhishma. But you listen the story that Bhishma has refused to sacrifice to become a king. And he has made the son of Satyavati, Pandu. Actually, Pandu was the younger one. And Dhritarashtra was the elder one. So by the ethical rules, Dhritarashtra is supposed to be the king. But as he is completely blind, king cannot be blind. He cannot rule this. That was also there. So even if the right was for Dhritarashtra, the Pandu was made king because Dhritarashtra was blind. But Pandu also has died early, so there is no successor for the king. So obviously the parliament decided to make the Dhritarashtra as a king, but on temporary basis. Dhritarashtra was told, because when the son of Pandu will be elder enough, he will make the king. So till that, Dhritarashtra has to carry out the duty of the king temporarily. And then of course we saw the birth of Kauravas and Pandavas and all. Of course they were children, all of them were staying in the same palace. But there was a constant struggle between Duryodhan, head of Kauravas, the elder son of Dhritarashtra, with his 99 brothers. It is what they are called Kauravas. And the Yudhishthir, with his 4 brothers, they are called Pandavas. So all of them were living in the palace. But from the childhood, they have got the constant struggle between Kauravas and Pandavas. There are so many stories, of course, but we don't go in detail of the stories from their childhood and all that. Now let us come to the next point. When the children become little bit younger, then they are to be given the training. Now in those days, ashramas were there, Gurukul. Where every student is to go in the ashram, stay there for 12 years and learn everything. But there are so many children, 100 plus 5. So they were not sent to any Gurukul or ashram. But now Bhishma is in charge of the whole kingdom. He has not become a king, but actually he was in charge of the whole kingdom. So there is an entry of Dronacharya. He is a very expert guru in all respect, in all fields of knowledge. But he was very poor. So once upon a time, all these children were playing together. There was a well, so one ring fall down in the well. by mistake. The well was so deep, it was totally dry, but it was so deep that the children, they can't go inside and take the ring. They're thinking of what to do, what to do. They're just observing the ring from the top of the well. And just this Dronacharya was just passing by. He saw such a big group of children, 105. Of course, he inquired, what was the problem? Why you are looking in the well? They told Dronacharya, oh, our ring has fallen down, golden ring. We want to take it back to our house, but we can't lift it up. It is so deep. Can you help us? Dronacharya was expert in all respect, as I told you. He told, yes, no problem. He has taken a straw. Yes, it was there. He has chanted some mantras and thrown this straw inside the well. That straw, one end of the straw stuck to the ring, and the straw was erect. Then he has taken another straw, chanted some mantras, again drop it. Now this second straw has stuck to the first end of the first straw, and it is again standing. Then he has taken the third one. Similarly, he has put number of straws. All straws were connected to each other because of the chanting of mantra. And finally, the last straw, which was in the hand of Dronacharya, it was sticking to the total ring, total chain of straws. Then he has lifted up, because they are all stuck together. So he has lifted up, and the ring came in his hand, and he has given to the children, oh, take this ring. They were also very happy, and not happy, but they are surprised. How this fellow has made such a miracle, which was not possible in normal condition. So they ask us, who are you? How you got all this technique and all this knowledge and all that? And Dronacharya has explained something to them. In this, all the children, they told Dronacharya, oh, let us go to our palace. Because our grandfather, Bhishmacharya, is there. So Dronacharya also, he was knowing all these histories and all that. He said, oh, yes, I am ready to meet him. I want to meet him like father. Then Dronacharya met Bhishma. Bhishma also is called Bhishmacharya, because he has become quite old also. So Bhishmacharya has appointed Dronacharya as a guru for Kauravas and Pandavas and asked him to stay in the palace. Now you see, Dronacharya is the first guru throughout India who has been appointed by a kingdom on salary, and he has to reside in the palace instead of Gurukul. After this, every student, even a children of king also, they have to go to the ashram and stay there and learn. But this was a tremendously different situation. But this has happened actually. And Dronacharya started staying in the ashram and teaching these children. Of course, he was expert guru. And as he was poor, no, I told you, he has accepted this offer. And the training continued. He is giving the training in the archery, different swords, in gada and bhale and all these things, those weapons in those periods. Then he is told how to ride the horse riding, how to ride the elephant, all those things. And including some routine knowledge also. And the mantras also. So mantras was very special subject in those times. Then these mantras are connected with the instruments or the weapons. Weapon can become very, very strong. We can say just like the atom bombs also. So there are different astras. It is called astra. Shastra is a weapons. And astra, when the shastra is connected with mantras, it becomes a astra. So we knew only one arrow, but it becomes, when it is a astra, the warrior can develop the fire, I can develop the heavy rains, warrior can develop the heavy wind and all that. There are different astras in those periods. So all these children were become expert in all these things. There was one interesting story which can give you some idea about how to learn and all. A story of Ekalavya. Now all these children were learning everything. When they were going to the forest also for practicing and all that. So when they were practicing in some forest, Dronacharya and all those Kauravas and Pandavas, they were coming back. They saw there was one dog and he was barking heavily. So everybody was getting disturbed. So they stopped. And again, they found one miracle again. Some arrows came from one side. Somebody might have thrown it, of course. And those arrows have entered in the mouth of the dog. But actually there was no wound. It just entered in the mouth of the dog and the barking has stopped. It's really a miracle. Because when the arrow is touching to the body, it is making the wound. There was no wound. But just his mouth was closed with the 7 arrows. And everybody was surprised. Who is the expert person? Then they searched here and there. And then they came to know that is Ekalavya, one person was there. At the age of Pandavas only, Kaurava Pandavas only. He has done this miracle. Then definitely Dronacharya also was surprised with this mastery of the archery of the Ekalavya. He asked Ekalavya, oh, from whom you learn all these things? Who is your guru? He told, you are my guru. Dronacharya never taught him. He don't remember also this fellow. But Ekalavya said, no, you are my guru. He said, how is it possible? And Ekalavya showed him. There was a earthen statue of Dronacharya. That was under one tree. So Ekalavya told him, actually I wanted to learn from you. But you are in the palace, I can't come in the palace. And you may not accept me also as a student. So I have made this earthen statue of you. And this statue has told me, it taught me everything. How is this possible? But this has actually happened in the history. That Ekalavya has learned from the earthen statue of Dronacharya. And he has become more expert than even Arjuna. And that is why he has made this miracle. He was stopping the barking of dog with the help of arrows. So this is something strange. We cannot understand, but it has happened. It depends the strong belief of Ekalavya on Dronacharya. Anyway, let us go ahead. The story is very interesting, so I explain the story. Likewise, there are many, many stories. We don't have that much time to learn all these things and understand. Let us go ahead. Now the students are becoming, children are becoming older and older. But the struggle was going on between Kauravas and Pandavas, particularly Duryodhan and Pandavas, because Duryodhan was the oldest one from the Kauravas. Of course, Duryodhan and Bhim, they were born on the same day. So their identical age was there. Because of this rivalry, Duryodhana has tried to poison Bhim also. giving some poison in the food and all that. But of course, the Bhima survived after that. Now, after some years, Yudhishthir, the eldest of Kauravas and Pandavas, and Yudhishthir was the son of Pandu, and actually the Pandu was the king. So Yudhishthir has been declared now by the parliament that he will be the successor of the kingdom and not the Duryodhan. The Duryodhan was younger than Yudhishthir, and Duryodhan was the son of Yudhishthir, Dhritarashtra. So officially he is not allowed. And now this is the important point for the struggle between Kauravas and Pandavas. Because Yudhishthir will be successor of the kingdom and that has been declared. So Duryodhan will not be a king. Of course, he will become king after few years. So this has a basic point of struggle between Duryodhan and Yudhishthir and Pandavas. So somehow, what the solution should be? Duryodhana has thought that killing the Pandavas is the only solution. Otherwise, there is no solution. Otherwise, Duryodhana is not going to become king, and he wanted to become the king. But Yudhishthir has been accepted by the parliament. So killing the Pandavas. So he has made a plan of killing the Pandavas. Now there was the entry of Shakuni. Shakuni was the relative of Kauravas. So he was also a king, but he has came to this palace to meet Kauravas. So Duryodhana has talked to him. He is also very shrewd. He was the maternal uncle of Duryodhana. There was some good relation also. And he was very shrewd and supportive to Duryodhana's. So they had decided a plan to kill the Pandavas. And for that, Duryodhana, in consultation with Shakuni, he has constructed a building in the city of Varanavat. There is one city, very holy city was there. This building was constructed with inflammable material, highly inflammable material. That was the plan of Duryodhana. Then, of course, they requested Pandavas to visit Varanavat because there was one holy function was going on for few days. And Yudhishthir also very happy because he is a very religious person. So when this holy program was there, he has accepted, oh yes, we'll go. So all Pandavas, 5, plus their mother Kunti, they had gone to the Varanavat city. And Duryodhana told him, oh, I made a very nice arrangement of living, staying and all that in one building. So you stay there. Yudhishthir has no idea about this plan. So he accepted. So they started staying in that building, which was made from the inflammable material. Now Vidur was the cousin of Kauravas and Pandavas both. So he was consultant of Dhritarashtra, minister, one of the minister of Dhritarashtra, because he was very brilliant, very religious, and all that. But he has good relations with Pandavas instead of Kauravas. But he is staying in the palace only as a minister of Dhritarashtra. So these relations we must remember. Little bit complicated, but we have to remember. So he came to know the plan of Duryodhana about the killing of Pandavas in that particular building at Varnam. So he intimated Pandavas because he was in close relation with Pandavas, better than Kauravas. So he intimated, oh, this is the plan of Duryodhana. And he has given a solution also. Because Dhritarashtra also asked what we should do then. We are staying in that same building. And Duryodhana may burn the building at any time. So Vidur told him that you make a tunnel inside the building, which will go far off from the building, and through which you can escape. So from that way, he has provided the labor also. So these Pandavas have prepared one tunnel inside the building, which was not known to anybody outside the building. And one fine day, Yudhishthir, Bhim, Arjun, Nakul, Sahadev, and Kunti, they escaped from the tunnel. But before that, there was one lady with her 5 children. She came to the surrender to these Pandavas and asked them that if we want to stay for one day, will you please allow? So they allowed. So there was one lady with her 5 children. They were staying in one room of the building. And on the same day, the building was on fire. But Pandavas are safely gone out. But when the building is fired, in the heavy fire, that particular woman and her 5 children, they were burnt in that day. There were dead bodies of these 6. So all the people came to know, oh, Pandavas has also burnt out in this building. And Duryodhana also came to know all these things. He was also very happy. Oh, all of them are burnt. No problem now. There is no hindrance for me to become a king now. Oh, he'll become a king. So he was in a very happy mood. Then these Pandavas came out of that tunnel. It was opening in some forest. They across the forest. Of course, so many days have been elapsed in that. They had to stay in the forest only for a certain period. Then there is some another incidents. There is another king. So the Pandavas went in that kingdom. It's of Drupad. And his daughter named Draupadi. She was very beautiful. And Drupad has decided the marriage of Draupadi. These marriages were decided openly. They arranged one big function. There are some conditions also for a person who wants to marry with Draupadi. As she was very beautiful, so many kings came there. They wanted to marry with Draupadi, but they had to follow the condition. The condition was very interesting. There was one artificial fish. And that fish was artificial fish, of course. Just kept rotating on the top of a pole. And the participant has to break the eye of the fish by observing the image of rotating fish in the water below. Just see. There is pole, below the pole, some water is there. And on the pole, the fish is rotating. And the participant has to observe in the water the image of that rotating fish. And break the eyes with the arrow, of course. So many kings and their princess, they tried, but they could not succeed. They're very, very difficult. But Arjuna was very expert. So he has succeeded in that. And definitely, he has married with the Draupadi. But Arjuna told Draupadi, my all 5 brothers are there. So he had taken Draupadi along with his brothers to the home where Kunti was there. Kunti is the mother of all Pandavas. So Arjuna told Kunti, I brought the Draupadi along with me. I have brought something additional today. Normally, they're begging something, getting some food and bringing to home, and they're distributing the food and eating it. That was the routine. So Kunti thought Arjuna has brought some food, type of food also. So Kunti told, you get it distributed between all of you. And that's what the direct instruction. Arjun told, I brought Draupadi only, very beautiful princess of King Drupad. And you told to distribute us between 5. So definitely, we all 5 will marry with Draupadi. And Draupadi also has accepted. But at the same time, Vyasa, no, just remember, the first son of Satyavati, Vyas, Maharshi Vyas, who has written all this Mahabharata, all the history. He came over there. So Draupadi asked him, how I can marry with 5 husbands? He told, no, it is you have to, because he has given the explanation for the previous birth of Draupadi. He said that Draupadi has very fond of Lord Shiva, and she has done a lot of tapa, austerity, for praying and chanting mantras of Shiva and so many years. So Shiva has become very happy. Lord Shiva came to her, asked her, oh, you are doing so many things for me, for praising of me and all. What do you want from me? She said, I want to marry. So you must give me one husband who is very great warrior. And she repeated this sentence 5 times. So Lord Shiva said, okay, you will marry in the next birth, of course, with 5 great warriors. And this is the result. You have to marry with all these 5 great warriors of Pandavas. So everybody was happy with this story and all that. And then Pandavas came back to the kingdom. And it was surprise to everybody in the kingdom of Dhritarashtra and Kauravas. Duryodhana also said Pandavas are alive. Not only alive, but they came with this beautiful wife. But of course, this wife, Draupadi, was wife of all 5 Pandavas. So definitely when Yudhishthir came back, he will become the king. The whole plan of Duryodhana has failed. Then Yudhishthir said, now I came back. I am eligible to become a king. So make me the king now. And the parliament also said yes. Because he was declared as a king, so he must become a king of this total kingdom of Hastinapur. But Duryodhana was not ready. Because actually the kingdom was in the hand of Dhritarashtra. As Duryodhana was the eldest son of Dhritarashtra. He said, I want to become king. I will not allow Yudhishthira to become king. And the struggle has started. How to solve this problem? Of course, then the problem was solved by the member of parliaments with the 50-50 rule. So the kingdom should be divided halfway. 50% to Kauravas, Duryodhana can become a king for them. 50% to Pandavas, Yudhishthira can become a king of them. That was the solution found out here. And of course, everybody has to accept it because there was no other solution for this. So Yudhishthira became a king of half part of the total kingdom. But Duryodhana has made some trick also there. He has given some barren land, bad part, to Pandavas and kept a good land and good portion of the kingdom with him. But Pandavas said, okay, actually he was not ready to give anything. He's giving something, maybe barren, maybe not good, but let us accept. So they accepted. And then with proper sincere efforts, Pandavas have developed the half part of the kingdom, which has become better than the Arjuna Duryodhana's half part. And everybody started praising Kauravas and abusing, Pandavas and abusing Kauravas. So the rivalry has been increased still more between Duryodhana and Yudhishthira. In the middle only there was one more story for the Arjun. Now the entry of Lord Krishna is there. Krishna and Arjun, they were more or less same age. And Lord Krishna has got his sister, Subhadra. She was also very beautiful. So he has suggested Arjuna to marry with Subhadra also. That was routine. The kings, they may be having more than one wives. It was allowed. So Arjuna also accepted, and Arjuna also married with Subhadra, sister of Lord Krishna. Afterwards, he got a son. It's called Abhimanyu. We'll refer this after some time. Abhimanyu. So anyway, the Pandavas were doing very well. Everybody was praising Pandavas. And Duryodhana could not bear all these things. He was not improving his behavior. He was behaving like that only. But still, he was not able to bear the development of all Pandavas and their kingdom and all that. But what to do again? He was again thinking to do something to overcome the Pandavas. So he has planned playing of Dyut. Now Dyut is some gamble. That was played in kings particularly. So he has planned to play the Dyut with Yudhishthira. And as it was a routine course, it has been accepted by the parliament. It has been accepted by Dhritarashtra also. And Yudhishthira, along with Pandavas, is called to Hastinapur. And the play has started. And what happened in the play, I think that will we see in the next session, because now our time is up. So let me stop here. Hari Om.